From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside my partner, Emmett Kenny, as we get set for North Dakota High School boys soccer action as the Shanley Deacons get ready to take on the West Fargo Packers. Well, folks, when these two teams last met a few weeks ago, they had the whole season ahead of them, but now here we are about midway through the year, maybe a little further, and these two teams now know where they stand. Shanley towards the bottom of the standings, looking to work their way up. West Fargo, meanwhile, sitting at second in the EDC, looking to maybe catch Davies here before the state tournament, try to solidify their place on top. There's a lot on the line here tonight, a big game for both teams, a lot of critical points on the line for Shanley to move up, and a lot on the line for West Fargo to just stay in a comfortable position. It's two teams with a big history and a heated rivalry, and it's going to make for some fun soccer here tonight, folks. For now, I'm going to have to pitch things over to the PA announcer, but don't go anywhere. We got a lot of soccer action coming up for you in just a few minutes.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency.
And now we thank you for this time of recreation. So we ask you, as always, to be with us and watch over us and bless us and those that are near and dear to us. Keep the players free from injury and harm. Allow them to play the best of their ability. Reward them for their efforts tonight. May they enjoy the contest. And let everything that we think, say, and do here this evening give you great honor, glory, and praise. We pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit. You are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please remain standing and remove your headwear and place your hand on the heart as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem performed tonight by Summer Miranda.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
And now, ladies
High school soccer action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Welcome back to North Dakota High School boys soccer action here on Shanley TV. I'm Jed Thomas, of course joined by Emmett Kenny as we're getting set for what should be a pretty great game here, Emmett, between two longtime rivals, the Shanley Deacons and the West Fargo Packers. Now, these two teams have been rivals for a pretty long time in the EDC Conference, but things really got heated a few years back. I think it was the 2016 state championship when West Fargo beat what had been an undefeated Shanley team in that state title game right here on Shanley's home turf. Since then, that rivalry has really been taken to the next level, and that's just made for some really great games, and I don't think tonight is any exception.
I agree, Jed. Obviously, last game was not what the Deacons were hoping for. A bit of a lopsided game between the Packers and the Deacons, one of the first we've seen in quite a while. But I expect the Deacons to progress a lot from that point, and I expect a competitive game here tonight.
For sure, Emmett. I think we're looking at two very different teams than we saw earlier in the year when West Fargo blew out Shanley. That said, I think really it's Shanley that's changed the most as West Fargo. They seem to be pretty consistent. They were great when they started the season. They've really stayed great. Shanley, meanwhile, started pretty slow, but I feel like we've seen a lot of improvement out of them. I don't think we're going to have another blowout on our hands here tonight.
I agree, Jed. The Deacons have racked up a couple wins in the EDC as well as a tie and a friendly against Holy Family over the weekend. And I think they definitely have some momentum. If they can keep building on it, possibly get a win or a tie here, that would be huge for the Deacons.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Emmett. And looking at tonight's matchup a little further, who do you see as some of the key players? Who do you think those guys are going to be here tonight for both teams?
Well, Jed, my player to watch for the Packers tonight is number 10, Telvin Va, the captain operating in the midfield. Tonight, he will be tasked with controlling the midfield and slowing down the attack of Evan Reinholtz, Landon Oden, and the rest of the Deacons. And for the Deacons, I am expecting a big game out of Owen Mears, the junior on the Shanley back line. He will be tasked with containing the attack of Telvin Va, Daniel Collins, and the rest of that Packers offense. And if Shanley can get some good stops and turn that into counterattacking play, they could easily earn some goals tonight.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Emmett. I definitely agree Mears is going to be a huge key for Shanley, as this West Fargo offense is one of, if not the best offensive group in the state. They are a little bit weaker on their back end, and that's something Shanley's going to have to exploit. I think going into that first game, they thought it'd be more of a shootout, as West Fargo had a really strong offense, but not as strong of a defense. That didn't turn out to be the case. West Fargo racked up a lot of goals, but the Deacons could not get on the board. Since then, though, they've really changed things up. Like you said, Mears is now in control on that back line, and Luke Noah, a senior captain who was running the defense, is now up front as a forward primarily. How much of an impact do you think Noah will have playing in a new position here?
I think that's a very good move there by the Deacons. Luke Noah, obviously possibly the most skilled player on this Deacons team. Putting him in a midfield or more forward position, that gives him more opportunities with the ball to distribute and even have his scoring chances of his own. So that'll be huge for the Deacons.
And again, that just goes to show what we were saying earlier, just how different of a Shanley team this is coming out here tonight. For West Fargo, though, I don't think they're going to be fazed by that. I think they know how good they are. They know what they're dealing with Shanley. To them, I don't think it really matters where you put those players. I think the Packers are pretty confident that they can take care of Shanley. And they've got every right to be after, a strong performance early in the season. That said, I don't think they're going to be taking them lightly. I think they know that this could be a real battle. So we're just about ready to get this one going. Like we said, big rivalry game here between these two teams. West Fargo blew out Shanley earlier in the year in that first matchup. We've alluded to it a lot. And Emmett, was that 5-0 or 7-0?
It was 6-0.
6-0, right in the middle.
Yep.
All right, so not what Shanley wanted there in that first conference game against West Fargo, but here we are a little bit later looking at two different teams, two more mature teams. Let's see what they've got, as Simon will check that one back over to Garte as we start this one off here. Packer back line looking to move it forward. Telvin Va has it now with pressure being put on by Noah. Va going to cycle it back over to Larte. Larte on the far side going to go all the way over to Milbrandt. Milbrandt with a little trick pass that time, not going to work out for him, and now it's a throw-in on the far side by Dietz. Dietz tosses it in that time, looking to hook up with Odin. Deacons maintain possession. Dew has it at midfield. He turns back around and will go back to Mickelson. The senior now, giving off over to Nellermo. Nellermo on the near sideline finds an open man in the middle. It's Odin. Odin with a lot of space in front of him. He's going to pass it off, though, over on the side. Has a man in Dietz. Dietz trying to cut his way through a couple defenders with that pass. Got it up to Noah, over to Dew. Now Dew will give it back to Reinholtz. Reinholtz with pressure coming from behind gives over to Nellermo. Nellermo has a man on him looking to generate some space here on the near sideline. Stuck in the corner. That ball is poked out of bounds by West Fargo. So Nellermo will go for the quick throw-in. That's batted away. Loose ball out in front of the Packer net. Va will play it forward. Ball picked up now by Collins. Collins gives off to Muhammad. Muhammad going against Mickelson. He'll give off over to Simon. Simon got a foot on it, tried to get it back to Muhammad, but Mickelson was able to break it up as now Reinholtz moves across midfield and goes over to Lance on the far side. Noah Lance on the far sideline trying to get it to Luke Noah. Finds its way to Noah. Luke Noah with the shot. Just skitters through the hands of Tommy Klein, but it doesn't find its way in the back of the net. A little bit of a scare early, though, here for Shanley, putting some pressure on.
Already, Joe, we can see some changes that the Deacons have made. It looks like they're going with 3 in the back here, and they're expecting those almost their wing backs to be able to get forward and support the attack, but they're going to rely on Jorgen Dietz, and it looks like Kai Nellermo as well to get back and defend against this Packer attack.
Well, here comes that Packer attack now as they look to turn fields. Great physical play, though, by Nellermo. Nellermo still with possession. Across the 50, he had Noah moving downfield, but he sent that one into the legs of Larte. Larte sends the ball all the way down to Simon. Simon has that one moved around him by Dietz on the far side. Dietz's ball intercepted by Va. Va with Dew on him. Had to give it off now over to Muhammad on the near side. Muhammad trying to hook up with Collins. He got tangled up with Mickelson, though. Tripped and is a little bit shaken up. Mickelson with the throw-in. It finds its way to Dew. Dew trying to get it to Reinholtz. Broken up by Garte. Now Va has it. Va up to Collins. Collins back to Garte. Garte all by himself with it that time. Gives off over to Va. Now Bolmy will send it forward. Va has it once again. Va back to Garte. Garte now has a man. Collins. Collins trying to get around Mears, and Owen Mears closes the gap. Nice acceleration that time by the junior defender.
We can see the athleticism there of Owen Mears coming all the way across from the middle of the field. He's able to make that play, and that forces a goal kick, I believe, for the Deacons.
And that will be the case as Cam Hoff sends this one downfield. Not too far. He found Dietz open and chose to give it off to him. Dietz now with it up to Lance. Lance looking. Doubles back. Tries to go back to Dietz. Dietz now over to Odin. Odin looking upfield. Pauses. Moves off to his right. Sent that one back to Dietz. And then it's lost to the Packer defense. Sent forward. Nellermo takes it. Nellermo back to Mickelson. Mickelson looking forward. Tried to connect that time with Dew. Couldn't quite get there. Va over to Garte. Garte upfield looking for Simon. Owen Mears is there to track it down, and he'll let it roll into the arms of Cam Hoff.
Alrighty, Jeb, we're seeing a much more even game here between the Deacons and the Packers. Looks like this is shaping up to be a good one.
Certainly, Emmett, we've seen it go back and forth both ways for both teams here, as now Muhammad has it on the near side. Muhammad with a nifty little pass over to Va. Va settles it down. Works his way past Dew. Then over to Musa. Musa trying to go back to Va. Va now has it at the 50. He gets it upfield to Collins, and Collins has that one knocked away once again by Mears. And Emmett, already your player to watch, Owen Mears, has made a huge impact.
Agreed, Jed. That was a very nice run there by Daniel Collins. Great pass to try and pick him out, but Owen Mears was there to make the play.
This ball now poked out of bounds by that Shanley defense. Va to throw it in. Looking in the corner. Had a man in Simon. Simon back to Va. Va trying to center that time. Loose ball out in front. Packers on it. Musa fires a shot, and Hoff tracks it down.
Nice shot there from Musa. Just testing Cam Hoff early. Seeing how he's going to play tonight, and a nice save there by Cam Hoff to not fumble it.
Pass, a little strong off the foot of Lance. Able to get back to it. Only briefly, though, as he's thrown off of it. Good job by the Packers to regain possession. Va checks it upfield again, looking to get to Collins. Collins with Mears right there with him. Gets it to Musa. Mickelson streaking in there to break it up. Garte has it now at the 40. Garte up to Simon, that's over to Milbrandt. Milbrandt on the far side, centering feed, broken up by Bolmy, and then out of bounds for a corner kick.
Jed, this Packers attack is already causing the Deacons some problems. Looks like we got a corner kick here.
Low kick that time. Doesn't really find its way to anyone. Shanley defense right there. Evan Reinholtz moved in that time to take it away. Now here's Luke Noah across the 35. Luke Noah moving forward, but Va comes in to take it away. Loose ball. Va and Noah battle for it. Va wins the race that time and sends it out of bounds.
And just like we were talking about, we said that counterattacking play would be a large part of this game, and we saw it there. However, that was a very nice play there by Va to get back on defense and take it away from Noah.
Nellermo tosses it into Odin. Odin over to Dew. Now back to Nellermo. Nellermo looking to hook up with Noah. Couldn't settle it down, though, as it rolls into the arms of Klein. Tommy Klein looking downfield with this punt. Good leg behind that one as it finds Simon at the 45. Simon moving back into his own territory with it. Goes over to Musa. Musa now upfield, attempting to connect with Milbrandt. Milbrandt in the foot race now with Dietz on the far side. Reaches that one before it gets out of bounds. Milbrandt all the way back to Garte. Garte looking upfield over to Collins. Collins leaves it for Va. He fires one that's blocked by Mears. Mears got his body in front of it. Muhammad catches up to the rebound, trying to sell things back down and get this Packer offense set up once again. And not going to happen, though, as Nellermo takes away. Nellermo trying to get it to Noah, just a step behind. Now Collins pokes it forward over the head of Odin. Reinholtz with the header over to Mickelson. Mickelson pokes it forward, looking to hook up with Nellermo. Odin goes down, battling with Muhammad. Mickelson can't connect with the header. Loose ball. Packers come away with it. Here's Muhammad over to Garte. Garte was going to hand it off to Muhammad. Now he goes over to Va. Va at the 35. Odin in front of him, trying to hook up with Collins. Mears heads it forward over the head of Odin and back to Va. Va right where he started, going over to Musa. Noah putting pressure on from behind. Noah able to break it up. Lance has it now. Lance goes over to Dew, who tries to get it back to Noah, but to no avail as it's broken up by Larte. Loose ball on the far sideline. Dietz couldn't do much with it, but he was able to put it out of bounds, last touched by Milbrandt.
Jed, we've seen some great 1-2 play here between Va and Collins. That's a great duo that the Packers have there in that midfield.
Yeah, Va is clearly trying to set up Collins. We've seen him try it a few times. So far, though, Mears has been all over Collins and has been able to shut down those opportunities. We'll see if he can continue that defense as the Packers have a rush going right now. Simon puts one on net, and it's saved by Hoff. He had Collins streaking down the middle with some space, just could not quite elevate it to him.
Nice play there by the Packers, looking for Lucas Simon in that corner. If he could have passed it in the middle and found his man, could have had a scoring opportunity, just flies off his foot the wrong way.
Strong goal kick that time, but it doesn't quite find its way to Noah. Here's Garte trying to get to Collins. Collins has a step, fires one off of Hoff and in. And just like that, 9 minutes into this one, West Fargo jumps out to a 1-0 lead.
And there we just saw the speed of the Packers once again. Excuse me, looked like that was Collins there, just outrunning Mears. Was able to get that one with a nice chip over the goalkeeper, Cam Hoff.
And that one really crazy. Let's look at the replay here. That looked like one of those passes that was just going to end up a little too strong. Look at the closing speed though by Collins, and even though he only gets there in just a nick of time, that's all he needs to just kind of tap that ball and get it over Hoff. That was a really impressive play, both speed and skill-wise, from Daniel Collins. Shanley going to have to forget about that one, though, and recover here quick. Do not want to let any more in. Don't want to, end up with a repeat of their last matchup. Got to put that out of your head. On the far sideline, Noah Lance playing physical that time with Levi Larte. Lance wins the battle as it's out of bounds off of Larte. Dietz to throw in. Dietz. Strong throw in that time. Maybe a miscommunication, though, as it's not really near any Deacons. Lance trying to catch up to it. And that ball ends up out of bounds after a Packer slipped on the far sideline. And a quick throw in here again by Dietz. Trying to get it to Noah. Now Noah Lance putting the pressure on, and that ball's out of bounds. Last touch by Lance.
Some nice pressure put on there by Noah Lance. Looks like that might be an interesting matchup tonight here between Lance and Larte.
Yeah, Lance has been fairly impressive early on here. He's been doing good things. The senior in his first year of competitive soccer in high school, and I think in about 5 or 6 years. So that's pretty impressive there from Noah Lance. And you can see the physicality he brings to the table as well on that far side. Just got to try and find the back of the net. He's done it once so far this season, but you know he's got the potential to do it more. So here's Garte bringing it down. Reinholdt's great job catching up to him. Garte goes down. Mears sends it forward. Va takes it now at the 45. Looking downfield. Va trying to set up Milbrandt. Dietz with the header off of Lance and straight back to Dietz. Jorgen Dietz now over to Bolmy. Bolmy had Simon right on him that time. Musa takes it away. Now here's Milbrandt trying to go back to Musa. Reinholtz is in there. Bolmy sends it forward. Garte is the only man there, though, for West Fargo. He takes it away. Garte able to get over to Collins. Now back to Garte. Garte tied up. A lot of Deacon defenders in there. Shot fired just wide of the net. And that's really impressive there from West Fargo. I'm able to get a shot off in a situation where I don't think most teams could.
Packers causing a lot of chaos there on the top of the 18. Great move there to get a shot off.
Ball dumped back into the Shanley zone by the Packers. Foot race now between Dietz and Simon. Dietz with the heads-up play puts it out off the legs of Simon.
Lucas Simon, a captain and one of these leaders of this West Fargo team, he's been very impressive tonight. He's been all over the field, possessing and as well as distributing to his wingers.
Yeah, Simon's had really good just general positioning out there, seemingly in the right place at the right time, which is, when you hear it, kind of doesn't sound like that great of a quality, but it really is something special. Not a lot of guys have it, and Simon appears to be one of those guys who just kind of knows instinctively where to be. This ball sent forward by Mauricio. Va trying to get it to Muhammad. Nice pass there from Telvin Va. Muhammad now has it on the near sideline. Centering feed, and Hoff jumps out to grab it. Hoff going to quick roll this ball forward to Oden. Oden now over to Reinholtz. Reinholtz looking forward, works his way around Va. Ball knocked away just a little bit, and Muhammad's able to take it off the foot of Reinholtz as Oden jumps in to take it right back. Now here's Landon Oden looking downfield. Able to get it up to Noah, but off the leg of Noah and just out of reach of Kai Nellermo.
Some nice play there from the youngster Landon Oden. He's been very great for the Deacons so far in this game as well as this season.
Yeah, Oden's really been just overall solid for Shanley and has just turned in really consistent performances, which is pretty impressive as a freshman. He just has not given them much to worry about, and Oden's certainly looking like a key piece going forward for this team. Loose ball back deep in the West Fargo zone, sent forward by Mauricio. Tracked down now by Collins. Oden putting the pressure on. Mickelson jumps in there as well, trying to take it away from Simon. Simon with the touch pass over to Collins, trying to round the corner, and he will. Collins moving in, fires one on net, just wide. And I think he was going for the shot there. Not sure if the lane was there, but if he could have centered that one back to Simon, that probably would have been a surefire goal.
Some incredible speed there from Daniel Collins, able to get around the quick Owen Mears. Looks like he didn't quite have the angle for a good shot, but just a nice play to play it across the line, see if your teammate's there, and if not, it was still a good run.
Yeah, and initially, Emmett, it looked like Mears maybe had the edge speed-wise, but since those opening minutes, Collins appears to have closed that gap, maybe even taken over. He's looking like the faster player by a little bit, and I don't know if Mears already gassed himself a little bit trying to keep up with a speedster in Collins, but he's really starting to find his groove now, so Mears is going to have to get right back on him as Collins comes in. Mears is there, spins around, sends it over to Simon. Simon couldn't get a clean shot or pass off that time, but again, Collins is in there making trouble. Ball sent back towards the Shanley net. Mickelson has it now. Muhammad in there to get a foot on it. Here's Collins with two defenders on him. Centers Simon just out of reach of the senior. And now Milbrandt has it. Miranda chasing after him. Milbrandt doubles back, able to work his way around Miranda, but only temporarily. Clearing attempt that time by Dietz won't go. Packers able to hold the zone. Larte on the far side. Centers. Garte can't quite get there. And now it's tracked down by Ensi on that back line. Va attempting to set up Muhammad. It's a little short, but he does find his way to it. Muhammad's got pressure on from Oden. And here's the shot. Too high, splits the uprights. That was Va who tried it that time.
Jed, this big three, if you will, for the Packers has been causing the Deacons all night. And, of course, I'm talking about Simon, Collins, and Va. obviously 3 leaders of this team. Some great play from all 3 of them in the midfield as well as attacking, creating many chances as well as distributing the ball to their teammates.
Yeah, but I could not agree more. We talked about how strong that offense is and how maybe the back line for the Packers is not their strongest area, but that doesn't really matter when your offense is so good they can just keep the ball in the opposing team's territory the whole game. I mean, we really haven't seen the Packer defense tested since the first 5 minutes or so, and that's how good this West Fargo offense is. Simon's got the ball now, trying to set up Collins. It just slips through, and he's offsides. Almost a disaster there for Shanley. They're fortunate to have the offsides call.
Heads-up play there from Collins. Still making that run. Possibility of it going through the defender, and it does. Unfortunately for him, he was just a step offsides.
So Shanley escapes unscathed there after a bit of a scare. Ball bounces forward off ahead. Miranda trying to get it over to Reinholtz. Reinholtz and Miranda volley back and forth as that ball's knocked away. Reinholtz was looking to set up Dew. On the far side, Simon trying to advance it. Reinholtz chips it forward, or excuse me, Bolmy that time. Va now has it at the 45. Va back to Larte. Larte switching fields over to Mauricio. Mauricio taking his time. Noah will put the pressure on as Mauricio sends it downfield. Muhammad chasing after it. Mears gets there first, playing it off his head. And back to Nellermo, but Mears will grab it himself. Miranda with the header. Nice play to get it over to Reinholtz. Now over to Dew. Dew trying to hook up with Odin. That one broken up, but only partially. Off the foot of a Packer. Mickelson back to Odin. Odin losing it in the feet there for a second. Gets back to it. Landon Odin trying to go to Nellermo, but Muhammad got a foot in there and broke it up.
Some great patience there from the freshman in Odin. Possibly some other freshmen and young players would just try to kick that one across the field, get it away from pressure. He's able to retain it, and it creates a throw-in for the Deacons.
Garte sends this one downfield to Collins. Collins over to Simon. Simon could not get a hold of it, though, and he puts it a little too far forward. Mears will let it roll out. Hoff to kick this one away now for Shanley, trailing 1-0 with 23 minutes to go here. Strong ball from Hoff off the head of Luke Noah. Here come 3 Deacons trying to trap NC, and NC's able to get the clear. Knocked forward by Muhammad. Now Va has it, and West Fargo's going right back to work. Va over to Musa. Musa weaving through. Able to get it forward, but a little too far forward past Garte. Sent back by Bolmy. Now Simon will track it down. He goes all the way back to Larte. Larte upfield. Ball settled down there on the far side. Now here come the Packers back into play. Not for long, though. Shanley defense able to break it up. Here's Reinholtz. Reinholtz up to Noah. Noah back, trying to take it away from Va. Noah and Va battle it out. Noah able to box him out. But we got a whistle, and looked like a call against Shanley there. I'm not sure what for, as Simon will load up and fire one.
Jed, this West Fargo team has some incredibly fast restarts. That means in the free kicks and corner kicks, they are very efficient and fast about getting the ball on the ground and getting it going right away. That catches some teams off guard, and it has created a lot of opportunities for them in this game and other games on their schedule as well.
Yeah, I've certainly noticed that, Emmett, here even in just the first 20 minutes or so. I think we've already seen that with, we saw the corner earlier, and there you saw the free kick there. And yeah, you're absolutely right. They come fast. They don't really give teams time to set up, and that certainly can impact a team. We talked about the fatigue factor, maybe losing some legs. This is a pretty well-conditioned West Fargo team, and if they keep that up, they might be able to tire out Shanley and open things up, later in the game. Here is Reinholtz now circling back, makes a safe play over to Dietz. Jorgen Dietz sends it up. Odin chasing after. Couldn't quite get there. Mauricio has it now. Mauricio up to Va. Va surveys. Able to work that one forward. Reeves had it that time. Now here's Garte to a wide open Muhammad. Muhammad with space. Fires one. Beautiful save by Hoff. Muhammad able to get back to it, though. Weaving back in, it's Muhammad. Pressure put on the defense, trying to recover. Mickelson is there to lock things down. Ball makes its way back to Muhammad, though. He's looking now up the left side. Muhammad still trying to break through. Finally a clear from Mears. Not too far, though. Larte is there. Larte putting it right back in. Header doesn't quite go the way they wanted it to. Muhammad fires. Tipped off by Hoff. What a save by Cam Hoff.
Some incredible play here between these two teams. A little bit earlier, we saw that pass from Lucas Simon. What a pass. Set up Muhammad with a great chance, and one great save by Cam Hoff. Muhammad has another chance. Cam Hoff says, I'll do it again. Tips that one right over the crossbar. Beautiful save from Cam Hoff. Really looks like he's in his zone tonight.
Yeah, Cam Hoff just incredible on that series, and Yusuf Muhammad incredible as well for West Fargo. Almost got the goal there 2 times, but Hoff was just a little better. Mauricio pops this one up in the air. Collins wants the header. Ball falls right in front of him. Could not get back to it, though, and Hoff eats it up. Hoff boots this one downfield. Drops right into the legs of Musa. NC sends it forward. Picked up on the far side by Reeves. Couldn't get too far with it. Deacons are in control. Not for long, though, as Musa will send this one right back down, and Hoff will have to chase after.
Nice look there from Landon, looking for Jay Stu. Unfortunately, couldn't find his feet. Nice play there from Musa to clear the danger.
And Emmett, as strong as Hoff has been and this Shanley defense has been over the last 10, 15 minutes or so, they really got to get back on offense here because as good as their defense and goalkeeper are playing, they cannot keep this pace up all game. They got to get some offense of their own.
And that is the problem that the Packers cause their opposing teams. They will just keep going, and they will not give you offensive chances, and they'll say, you know what, we'll beat you with our offense. And we've clearly seen that tonight. Deacons clearly need to throw some numbers forward and try to create some scoring opportunities.
Noah that time tried to take it away from Va. He could not. Garte able to get it up to Collins. Collins going to knock it forward, looking for Simon. That one doesn't find its way through traffic. Odin trying to track it down. Muhammad gets there first, though. Here's Muhammad weaving back in, trying to set up Collins. Collins couldn't get under control. Simon gets there. Great centering pass. That does not hook up as Bolmy was there to clear.
Lucas Simon, Jed, normally playing on that far sideline. Looks like he came over to the near sideline for that one. It just shows the versatility that the Packers have here on offense. They can rotate their players in any positions, and they will still get good results.
Yeah, we've seen Simon move around quite a bit, and so he himself really has shown his versatility, able to play most spots there up front, as now we got a whistle, and I'm not sure, Emmett, that might have been a handball, but I'm not quite sure. Nonetheless, it will be a free kick here for Shanley.
Owen Mears, one of those players with an absolute cannon for a leg. He's had some very good free kicks this year. If he could place one right on the 6, that would create some trouble for the Packers.
Well, let's see what he can do. Here comes the junior. Some good power behind this one. Maybe a little short. Noah, though, with a good header to advance it. That's as far as it'll go, though, as Klein is able to snag it, and now he'll boot it away.
Looked like Mears just didn't get quite enough on that one. Heads-up play there by Luke Noah to try to create a flick and help out his Deacon attackers.
Pass here up to Collins. He's able to track it down. Looking at his options now. He'll double back, trying to work his way around Dietz. Dietz able to stick with him. Collins almost made a beauty of a pass there. Bounces back to Reeves. Reeves puts one towards the net. Too high and out of bounds.
Another scoring opportunity for these Packers. They have been relentless tonight.
Yeah, they certainly have. And again, we really need to see some more offensively by this Shanley team. They just do not have a lot going for them on the offensive end. And Drew Beiswinger going to check in now for Shanley. He's another freshman playing well this year, but a freshman nonetheless against a pretty experienced Packer team.
Looks like an all-freshman defensive midfield here for the Deacons. And against these experienced, talented West Fargo attackers, they have their work set out for them.
Well, we'll see how that plays out now for Shanley as Mickelson came in for the header there. Ball bounces back and forth. Bolmy has it now off his head. Mason Bolmy going to play that one back to Dietz. Dietz now back up to Bolmy. Gets it just out of reach of Va. It's then taken by Knutson, but we got a whistle and a free kick coming for the Deacons. Ball sent downfield. Noah's got it. Luke Noah had it for a second, but couldn't quite track it down. Ball popped high up into the air and sent out of bounds by West Fargo.
Positive sign here for the Deacons, Jed. If they can possess in their attacking third, possibly give the Packers backline some trouble, that would be great for them.
So Joe Mickelson will throw in here as we've got a substitution. And Landon Oden will check out, and I believe that's Kevin Gladich in there now for Shanley, Emmett.
Kevin Gladich, a speedster on that back line. If he can get some space, he can cause some problems with that ball.
Yeah, certainly Gladich's best asset, I think, is his speed. One of, if not the fastest player on the Shanley team. And now we got a corner for the Deacons. So some good things happening for Shanley as Beiswinger will take this corner. Low corner from Beiswinger. Right idea. Deacons couldn't get a body on it, though. And now it's sent forward by Musa. Collins with a beauty of a play back to Va, who gets it right back to Collins. These two are playing keep away right now. Va finds Simon. It's offsides, though. That was going to be a highlight reel play if they could have stayed onside, Emmett.
That was some very nice play there from Va and Collins, just possessing all the way through that midfield, trying to pick out Lucas Simon in the attacking third, and he's just a hair off sides.
Yeah, I mean, Simon does a great job separating. Va does a great job trying to feed him that time. But like you said, it was really the setup between Va and Collins keeping the ball away from the Shanley midfield that was so pretty. Unfortunately, though, that time it is offsides like we said. So Shanley, again, able to avoid giving up a second goal with an offsides call. 14-10 now left to go in this first half. Deacons have the ball in West Fargo territory again. Field seems to be tipping their way a bit more now. Bolmy with the big throw in, trying to find Dew in the middle that time. In comes Luke Noah now. Luke Noah has that one knocked away briefly, circles back to it, trying to work his way past a man. Instead, it's taken away by Mauricio. Mears gets it up to Bolmy, now back to Mickelson. Mickelson looking forward. Finds Beiswinger, who goes back now to Noah. Noah chips it forward. It's intercepted, though, by Musa. Knutson has it. He goes back to Ensi. Ensi sends it downfield for Muhammad. Muhammad with pressure behind by Mickelson. Couldn't work his way past Mickelson and Beiswinger. It's Deacon ball now. Mickelson has it near side. Mickelson through the legs of Beiswinger that time. Nellermo tries to track it down. He cannot. It's cleared back. Here's Simon now trying to hook up with Collins. Collins and Mears that time off to the races once again, and it's actually Hoff who got in there. Mears did a good job sticking with Collins, keeping him away from that ball.
Another good foot race there from Mears and Collins. That duo has just been going at it all night. Obviously, Collins has the upper hand with the goal, but a nice play there by Mears to clear the danger.
Yeah, aside from that one goal, Mears has done a pretty good job shutting down Collins. The thing is, though, the second they get Collins shut down, Muhammad takes over, and then when they divert resources to Muhammad, Collins comes back into play. And right now, it just seems like Shanley doesn't quite have enough to stop all these Packer weapons. They can get close, but I just don't know if they have enough guys to stop them all. So here's a throw-in for West Fargo. Musa takes it, looking. He's got Knutson. Knutson trying to track down a long pass. Great little chip now over to Reeves. Reeves looking in the middle. Nothing there. Back to Knutson or Musa. Knutson takes it. Musa can't get it back as Lance stole it. Now here goes Dew. Dew trying to hook up with Gladich. Gladich going to try to use that speed, turning on the afterburners, but he can't quite get there. The battle won by Klein. Little header that time from Dietz. Ball sent back. Bolmy had it. Knocked back, though, by Simon. Bolmy now going to Dietz, straight back to Bolmy. And he'll just let it roll back to Hoff, who will clear it way downfield. Lance trying to track it down. Larte with the header, forward and out of bounds. Here's Luke Noah now. Chipping it forward to Beiswinger. Beiswinger over to Mickelson, looking downfield. Joe Mickelson trying to connect with Dew. That ball's intercepted by Muhammad. Muhammad jukes his way around Beiswinger, cutting up the middle of the field now. Believe he was trying to get that one to Simon. Couldn't quite get there, though. Now Beiswinger has it. Knutson got in there and able to take it away. Knutson now moving forward. Lance and Noah are in there trying to break it up. Noah got a foot in there. Lance took it away, but only briefly. Possession regained by Reeves as he goes in the middle to Collins. Collins pops it up. A little pass on the far side. And Hoff will scoop it up. It was a nice play, though, trying to hook up with Simon.
Nice flick there from Lucas Simon, just getting it back into the middle, trying to find Collins, I believe that was there in the middle. Nice play, though, by Cam Hoff to come out and make the play.
What a play by Muhammad, juking his way around Nellermo. Here goes Muhammad now, attempting to get it over to Collins. Mears gets there instead, and pressure put on Mears that time by Collins as the ball's sent out of bounds. Last touch by the Packers.
Onto the pitch for your Packers.
10-10 left to go in this first half as we've got some substitutions. Telvin Va and Evan Reinholtz come back in.
And onto the pitch for
The
your
throw-in
Deacons,
goes off the head of
Evan
Noah.
Reinholtz.
And it'll be tracked down here by Mauricio. Gladich trying to pressure. Packer backline not phased. Gladich trying to catch up to Larte that time. Larte escapes, and he'll just bring it forward himself, trying to work his way around Reinholtz. It was Lance who finally got a foot in there to knock it away.
Jed, the Deacons got to create some more offensive pressure. As soon as the Packers get that ball on their back line, they are just fine to settle it. They have plenty of time to move about. Deacons obviously need to throw some more numbers forward.
Shanley looking to throw in here, bit of a delay. Throwing goes from Dietz to Beiswinger, right back to Dietz, and then to Beiswinger over to Bolmy. Mason Bolmy goes over to Mears. Mears to Nellermo. Nellermo now up to Mickelson. Mickelson trying to get past Muhammad. He fell down, but he got back on top of it. Joe Mickelson looking for Evan Reinholtz. Reinholtz couldn't quite get to it, though. Garte was there to break it up. Muhammad now trying to get past Nellermo. He did, but he gave it off to Luke Noah, but now a whistle and a free kick coming for the Packers.
Some nice play there between Nellermo and Mickelson. Mickelson went up with the ball, and Nellermo was smart enough to take his defensive spot. Nice switch there from the Deacons.
Here is Musa now for the Packers. Musa goes over to Mauricio. Nellermo comes in for Shanley, able to get it past Musa. Here's Kai Nellermo now. Nellermo looking for Noah, a little too far in front. Beiswinger knocks that ball down. Back to Nellermo, back to Beiswinger. Beiswinger looking right, sends it upfield. NC is there to break it up. It's then knocked forward, though, by Nellermo. Nellermo putting the pressure on, but he could not keep it in bounds.
Some very nice pressure there from Kai Nellermo, just chasing that ball, see what could happen. He gets a fortunate deflection, but just trickles out on him.
Yeah, Nellermo, unfortunately, that time just could not keep it in play. Throw in for Mauricio. Ball poked into the air by the Packers. Mears sends it downfield. Gladich couldn't get there. Larte was there instead. Now here's Dietz. Dietz across the 35, across the 30. Feed to Gladich. Instead to Noah, actually. Now Noah Lance on the far side with pressure put on him. It's tracked down by Dietz. Jorgen Dietz has it taken away. Battle on the far side. Going to be won by Simon, but only temporarily as it'll roll out of bounds. Last touch by that West Fargo senior.
Great hustle from Lance to run all the way back from the 18 to about the 35-yard line there. Way to put some pressure on Simon. Forces a throw in for the Deacons.
Yeah, Lance continuing to have a nice game on that far side as this ball's just going to be headed out of bounds. So we'll have another throw-in try here. Strong throw-in, bounces in front of Gladich. Headed forward by Musa. Gladich couldn't get there. Noah coming back in along with Reinholtz trying to track it down. They cannot. Now here's Muhammad. Muhammad all the way downfield looking to hook up with Va. Mears is there to head it away, but Collins comes in to clean it up. Collins has Va open to his left. Two men on him, though. Collins splits the defenders, comes in, fires one-handed save by Cam Hoff, who continues to preserve the Deacons' chances here.
Vaughn Collins with some amazing play. 5 Deacon defenders on him. Collins able to snake his way through the defense, get a scoring opportunity, and what a save there from Cam Hoff. Obviously, besides that one goal that went in at the beginning of the game, he has been tremendous, stopped many great shots. It's been a great night for Cam Hoff.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a great play here by Collins. Works his way through 2 defenders in Mickelson and Mears there. But then how about Cam Hoff? Last line of defense, gets one hand out there at the last second. Real impressive save there by the senior netminder. Ball loose out in front of the Shanley net. Chaos there once again, but again, the Packers are stopped.
this Deacons defense that has really held strong so far in these last 20 minutes. They've been under a lot of pressure. They've done a good job of bending but not breaking. And I think they're going to look to go into this second half and see what they can do.
Yeah, for Shanley, it'd be great if they could escape here down just one. You know, they've played fairly well. It's just that given the time of possession and the amount of time spent in their zone, I think you'll take only 1 goal surrendered any day with those numbers. So if they can get to halftime here, only down 1, then maybe make some adjustments to get the offense cooking, I'd say that's a pretty good spot for them. But there's still 5 minutes left, so a lot can happen. Could be a bigger deficit, or they could tie things up. You just don't know. As Luke Noah now will give that one off on the far side over to Dietz. Jorgen Dietz now brings it forward for Shanley. Sends that ball downfield, trying to hook up with Lance. Gladich is there to get the rebound as Lance sends it back to Beiswinger. Beiswinger in a bit of trouble. Great job getting it away, but now it's a little too strong. Nellermo can't quite get there in time as it rolls out of bounds.
Nice hustle there by Nellermo. Just can't get to that ball as it tweaks out of bounds.
So it will be a goal kick here for West Fargo. Or maybe not. Mauricio will take this one.
Onto the pitch for your Packers. Let's welcome number 20 on the hall.
Amdahal coming out there now for West Fargo. Sophomore defender. Packers have not made many changes on their back line, and that's understandable because they've not only played well, but they haven't had to play much. So they don't really have too many tired legs out there, I wouldn't think, for that back line. And Mahal, though listed as a defender, will come in here more at that outside mid type of position. Va able to work it around Mears, and now it's sent back to about the 30-yard line. Reeves has it now. Reeves sends it forward. It's knocked in the air by Bolmy and grabbed by Hoff. Hoff sends it down now. Larte trying to get to it. Gladich putting the pressure on. Larte able to box out. And Lance got in there. Got a foot on it, and I think they'll say that was last touch by the Packers.
Gladich really looking to make a push here, trying to grab his goal for his team. He has been tremendous tonight just chasing down those balls, and he's created a lot of chaos down there for the Packers.
Here's the throw-in for Bolmy. Noah got a head on it. Bolmy sends it in towards the Packer net, but it'll roll safely away from Klein. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Shanley tried to put a little pressure on that time. Could not sustain it, though. Packers going to be looking to come back here with not a lot of time to go in the first here, as now Va has it, trying to hook up with DeHall. DeHall going up against Mears, able to keep it in bounds. Mears comes back to put the pressure on. Physical play. DeHall goes down, and Mears with the big-time clear, although NC will get a foot on it to keep it in play. Good work here by West Fargo to recover as Musa gets it over to Reeves. Reeves going inside. It's broken up by Bolmy. Back on top now by Swinger with it as he goes over to Mears. Mears looking for Noah. And then it's chipped downfield up to Gladich. Gladich going to chase after it. But again, he's going to be boxed out by Larte.
Larte has been really solid on that back line for the Packers tonight. He's faced a lot of pressure out on that far sideline that looks like where the Deacons are trying to move up the field. And he's been very good, just not letting any of those balls get crossed into the middle. He's been very nice on the outside.
So Bolmy throws in, and it safely rolls out of bounds. So a tough break there for Shanley. Just not able to do much on offense here in this first half. That's certainly something they're going to work on at halftime, though. As they already trail by 1 here, they're going to need at least 1 goal to get a tie. And knowing this West Fargo offense, they may very well need more than that, depending on how the Packer offense plays going forward. That ball going to take a hop out of bounds. Minute 10 left here.
Ladies and gentlemen, players and Bernard, there is 1 minute remaining.
Musa with the throw-in over to Garte. And we got some contact. They'll call Beiswinger there as both he and Garte went down.
Beiswinger was looking just to clear the ball there. Unfortunately for him, the ball just skidded out of his way, and that leg came flying straight into the Packers player. Fit there for the ref to call foul.
Yeah, not intentional by any stretch there by Beiswinger, but as you said, it is the right call as, just ends up kicking the player accidentally instead of the ball, as that one now goes out of bounds with 30 seconds to go. Packers should get a corner here. And one more shot to expand their lead. Here's the corner coming in hot. High ball headed forward by Musa, but then headed right back by Mickelson. Still 12 seconds. Musa able to get it off on the far side over to Reeves. Reeves trying to curl in. Reinholtz boxes him out. Hoff swallows it up, and that should do it here in the first half. Cam Hoff will just hang on as time winds down. And so after 1/2 of play, Emmett, it is 1-0 in favor of West Fargo. Your thoughts here on this first half action?
Well, Jed, I think both teams can take away some positive things from this first half. Excuse me. For the Packers, they obviously got to be ecstatic with the way they're playing. They're possessing very well in the back line, had many scoring opportunities as well. The leadership of those seniors is really shining through in this one so far. But for the Deacons, obviously they haven't been able to get much going on offense. They really got to work on that in the second half. They got to play more balls forward, create more scoring opportunities. But a bright side of that Shanley team has been that defense. Obviously, they let in that first goal, but ever since that point, they did very well, especially Owen Mears, to clear the danger and really just keep this at a 1-goal deficit, as it could have been 2, 3, maybe even 4.
All right, so some things to watch headed into the second half. Folks, we'll step aside for just a few minutes, but don't go anywhere. We got a whole nother half of soccer action coming your way.
And just recapping the scoring at the 9th minute, West Fargo scores by number 11, Daniel Collins.
Good evening and welcome back to North Dakota High School boys soccer action here on Shanley TV. Before we get back to the second half of play here between Shanley and West Fargo, we'd like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. And so, like I said, we're back at it here. Second half between West Fargo and Shanley. Jed Thomas on the mic, joined by Emmett Kenny. And Emmett, first half, it was fairly even, all things considered. Certainly, though, West Fargo was in the driver's seat. They had more pressure. The Shanley defense looked pretty solid. The offense, though, was hard to come by. What adjustments do you see from either team here in the second half?
Well, Jed, the Packers obviously showed their dominance. They had some great play out there. And the Deacons, they don't need to adjust much on the back line, but they just have to get forward more. They have to create more scoring opportunities, and they have to put some pressure on this Packers back line.
All right, well, certainly those are some adjustments they'd like to make. Can they make them, though? That has yet to be seen. Let's see it right now, though, as we're back into play here in the second half. Deacons do have the ball to start things off. On the near side, it's Dietz going all the way back across over to Mears. Owen Mears back deep in his own territory, goes to Mickelson. Mickelson on the far side, bringing it forward, trying to get over to Reinholtz. That one's intercepted, though. Packers looking to pick up right where they left off. This ball finds its way over to the man in the middle that time, Daniel Collins, but he couldn't get it through. Here's Telvin Va now, faking one way, then the other. Fires one just to test Cam Hoff, and Cam Hoff not fooled. And Emmett, that's what Shanley can't let happen. You know, they just cannot allow West Fargo to get set up and be so comfortable like that, because that's all the Packers want to do. They want to get to the ball to Va and then to Collins as Luke Noah's putting on the pressure here. A man goes down. No whistle, though. Noah back to Lance. And Lance got a shot off, but not a lot behind it. Pretty good job, though, by Luke Noah to generate that opportunity, though.
Very nice by Luke Noah. As we said, the Deacons need to create more pressure, and that was a good start there. Nice attack there. Passes it back to Lance. Unfortunately for Lance, not a powerful enough shot, but positive sign from the Deacons, able to get forward there.
Certainly, as this ball is just in front of Hoff. Cam Hoff at the last second makes a diving save, so he continues his nice game. And before that scoring chance came, like I was saying, Emmett, Shanley just can't let West Fargo get comfortable. They like to let Va kind of set up in the middle and then feed the guys in front of him, and that just can't happen here in the second half, because if they allow Va to get comfortable like that, I think we're going to see more goals for the Packers.
Yeah, Jed, these Shanley midfielders have to be better at stepping towards the ball. If they give Va time, he will just pick you apart, and he will find all of his pieces on the wings and in the middle as well, and he's already done that here tonight.
Lance that time was putting the pressure on for Shanley, just about hooked it up with Reinholtz, couldn't quite get there though, so the Packers are going back to work. It is Musa in control on the near side, going over to Garte, back to Musa, and now over to Milbrandt. Milbrandt upfield to Collins. Collins coming back through the middle over to Muhammad. Muhammad and Collins chase after it. It's Reinholtz who got the foot on it, though. And now Muhammad sends this one forward up to Collins. Collins over to Garte. Garte back to Collins. Couldn't settle it down. Clearing attempt. Won't quite go that time. And now here's a nice clear for Jorgen Dietz. He tried the initial clear that didn't go and then got the second one there. And so Milbrandt now has it, trying to bring it right back into the zone. Dew putting pressure on, trying to take it away. Va that time has to hand off, just giving it back over to Larte. Larte on the near side, over to Milbrandt. Straight back to Larte, sends it forward. Ball just past Musa, tracked down by Reinholtz, who sends it up in the air. Straight back to Larte.
Good pressure there from Jorgen Dietz, applying the pressure on Larte, making him pass an errant ball towards the midfield, and Reinholtz is there to pick it up.
Milbrandt has it at the 30, handing it off to Musa. Musa and Lance exchange some contact there. Now Garte has it, trying to get up to Collins. Oh, man! Daniel Collins with the last-second adjustment, and he does it again.
There we see the athleticism of Daniel Collins. He's able to make that quick run starting on the very back line, able to get out in front of the Shanley defenders, and another smooth chip over Cam Hoff for the goal.
And Emmett, it's just like that last one he had, the only other goal in the game. He gets to balls that we think the goalkeeper's going to get to. It doesn't look like there's enough space, and then at the last second he gets a foot on it. And it's amazing to me how little contact Collins needs to make in order to redirect the soccer ball. That's the second time, like I said, we've seen him just tap it, and all of a sudden it changes direction.
Collins a very skilled player. Obviously, he's got the speed to get to balls, but he's also got the feet. He's got the touch, and he's able to make some amazing plays with the ball at his feet, and we see another one there.
So Daniel Collins now with 2 goals, 2-0 in favor of West Fargo. Deacons really need to respond now as Mickelson sends this one up to Reinholtz. Reinholtz battling it out. That time on the far side, it goes out of bounds. And initial signal seems to indicate that it's off of the Packers.
Packers score coming at the 44th minute. By the same duel, assisted by number 6, Enoch Garte, and your scorer, number 11.
And so it's Garte who got the assist there, and that's not a surprise. He's been a pretty good facilitator there, perhaps a bit overshadowed by Va, but Garte has been really strong in his own right. As this ball's headed forward by Noah, again generating an opportunity. Ball sent back in, Dew spins around, couldn't quite get a shot off though.
Nice play there from Landon Nolan, just setting the ball back into the 18. Falls at the feet of Jay Stu, but he doesn't have enough time to turn and take a shot.
And Odin making another great play there, getting back on defense and sending this ball back forward to the Shanley offense. Dew trying to track it down. Garte got in there to break it up. Now here's Musa. Musa forward to Garte. Garte stops, goes back off the legs of the referee. Garte making everyone miss, including the referee that time. And now here's Collins with it. Collins at the 50, trying to give it off. Finds a man in Milbrandt. Milbrandt with pressure put on him by Dietz. Milbrandt, though, able to work his way around Dietz. He's got an opening there on the side. It's closing swiftly, though. Works his way through the legs of the defender, but then loses it out of bounds.
Milbrandt showing us some fancy footwork there, is able to get around Dietz. Unfortunately for him, just rolls off, and it creates a Cam Hoff goal kick.
Yeah, that time it might have been better to shoot it when he had that little opening on the side. Hindsight, though, is 20/20. You know, obviously he was trying to get a bit better of a look. It would have been off his non-dominant foot with still not a ton of space. That time, though, he doesn't even really get a shot off, so good recovery by the Deacon defense. Here is Noah Lance with it on the near side. Doesn't have possession. It rolls out of bounds as Milbrandt's able to box him out. And we got a man down for the Deacons. I think it's Jorgen Dietz.
Jorgen Dietz already had some struggles with ankle problems this year. Looks like he's obviously don't want to speculate, but it looks like he's reaching down there again.
Well, and here comes Musa as the Deacons are short a man, centering feed, and it's in the back of the net. Musa connecting with Lucas Simon as Dietz is still down. He'll be helped up. No, he can't quite get up. Still, though, a heck of a goal there for the Packers, taking advantage while Shanley there was without a defender. Good job capitalizing, and you see Musa here able to work his way around Mears, and then there's Simon just kind of slipping his way back in there.
Very unfortunate for the Deacons that Dietz happened to pick up that injury. He was out of that play, and that attack went right up this near sideline where Jorgen Dietz would have been. Nice centering pass by Musa. Lucas Simon's there to put it away.
So unfortunate, but perfectly legal there for the Packers. Obviously, they just do a good job taking advantage of that situation, and that puts them up 3-0. And Emmett, this is exactly the opposite of what Shanley wanted here. We're just 6 minutes into the second half, and already the Packers have added 2 more goals to their total.
And in soccer, Jed, we obviously talk about the 5 minutes after the goal. And there we saw it play out again. If you're the team that conceded, sometimes you have the tendency to just kind of try to play back, and you become less aggressive, and it hurts you. And then we saw it right again there with another goal back-to-back for the Packers.
Right, Shanley retreating into a shell that time rather than coming out swinging. Not necessarily by design. That's just kind of how they came out. Came out maybe a little flat-footed, a little deflated after the second goal, and the Packers do a good job taking advantage. 2 goals in quick succession there can really break your back as a team. So now down 3-0. It's going to take something big to spark some sort of a comeback here for the Deacons. Ball given to Milbrandt on the near side. Lance and Noah putting the pressure on that time. Va has it now for the Packers. Va going over to Mauricio. Mauricio trying to thread the needle all the way over to Muhammad. It's broken up, though, by Dew. Dew working it forward. He has it taken away by Mauricio, but then it goes out of bounds off the Packers. There'll be a throw-in now on the far side. Mickelson to Oden. Oden chasing after it, able to win that race. Moose overruns it a hair, and he sends it in, attempting to connect with Nellermo. Instead, though, it's a big clear that time for Jaron Ency.
Jed, it looks like the Packers stuck to the game plan from the last time they met the Deacons as well. They had a 1-goal lead heading into halftime, and then right after that halftime, they brought out a real spurt of attack, and we saw it again here. 2 quick goals, and the Deacons find themselves in quite a hole here.
So Shanley trying to get the momentum back in their favor. Just trying to do something offensively. A goal here would be absolutely huge, as Oden that time tried to thread the needle over to Noah. Here's Noah Lance with the header up forward to Nellermo. Nellermo couldn't get to it, nor can Luke Noah. And it won't matter as we got a whistle and a free kick coming up for West Fargo. And you talked about the quick turnaround for the Packers. There it was once again, as this ball's sent forward off the legs of Dew. He's tripped up under his own power that time, but gets right back up. Simon with pressure put on by Mears from behind. Able to get it off on the far side. Packer attack coming in, but the ball goes out of bounds. Couldn't keep it in play. Shanley ball now with the throw-in over the leg of Nellermo. Nellermo couldn't get back to it. Packers looking to come straight back. Continue their assault here on the Deacon net. Musa going over to Larte.
Right here, Jed, is another example of the Deacons needing to step. They are just holding the ball, taking precious seconds off the clock. Somebody's got to be there for the Deacons, able to step, and we see a clever pass here.
Yeah, here's a big feed, and now trying to hook up with Simon that time on the far side. It won't go. I think that might have been Garte alone over there, all the way over. And, yeah, it won't work that time. But like you said, that's a good observation, Emmett. Shanley's just been caught flat-footed a few too many times here. They're falling back. They're playing reactionary soccer. They're waiting to see what West Fargo does so that they can respond, when in reality they're down 3-0, and they need to be setting the tone and setting the pace of this game. They can't continue to sit back. It has not worked for them. They need to really get on the offensive, and now that's a lot easier said than done. So I certainly understand why they've had trouble doing it, but they got to try something here, even if it means maybe surrendering another goal. At this point, I think it's more important to wager and try to pick one up, because what's the difference between losing 3-0 versus 4 or 5?
I agree, Jed. This Packers team is obviously very strong. And for the Deacons, they just got to try to be one step ahead of the ball. They got to be trying to know where it's going to go and try to pick out players that will help them to attack and possibly create a scoring opportunity.
So here's that ball, checked downfield. Kyle Stitch was the first man to it, but it goes out of bounds off of him, so it'll be West Fargo throw-in. Quick toss for the Packers. Larte has it now, centering, attempting to hook up with Garte. Collins, a little juked himself out almost, trying to get to that ball, and so it's Shanley ball here as Mickelson goes over to Dew with the touch pass, hooking up with Reinholtz. Reinholtz over to Nellermo. Va on top of him. Nellermo trying to leave it back for Reinholtz. Instead, it's broken up and taken away by Garte and Va. Va has it knocked away by Noah. Luke Noah and Telvin Va battling it out. Ball bouncing all around. Luke Noah comes away with it. Knocked back. Nellermo is there. Nellermo, though, has it poked away by Musa. Here comes Dew trying to center it. Dew's ball taken by Ency. Then upfield, blocked by Reinholtz. Oden now with a man on him. Gets it over to Stitch. Now to Noah. To Lance. Noah Lance tried to center for Luke Noah, and the ball is saved by Klein. Well, that's a bit more of what we wanted to see there, Emmett, from Shanley. Some good, crisp passing that time, trying to set something up. It's more offensive-minded soccer.
Agreed, Jed. Kyle Stitch there with some nice possession at about the 50, trying to play it forward to Noah Lance. Just happens to turn it over.
And the shot from the Packers is taken by Cam Hoff and sent back downfield. Towering ball. First grab by Va. Now Nellermo will get back to it. Nellermo looking for someone. Loose ball. Reinholtz couldn't get there in time. Packers send it forward.
And Jed, we haven't heard much from Kyle Stitch so far tonight. I believe this is the first time on the field. But the sophomore has been very good for the Deacons on that back line so far this year, and he'll be looking to make an impact in this game.
Yeah, Emmett, I was a little surprised that this was the first time we'd seen him. I mean, obviously he's only a sophomore. These are his first major, this is the first year where he's getting a lot of time. But still, he had been getting so much time. I'm just a little surprised that we're only seeing him now. And, yeah, like you said, he's played well when he's gotten his minutes, and so that's probably why the coaches opted to put him back in. Musa on the throw-in over to Va. Va with pressure put on by Nellermo. Gets over to Mauricio. Mauricio at the 40. Noah will put some pressure on as Mauricio checks it forward. Mickelson trying to track it down. Packer ball on the far side inside to Simon. Simon centers, not much there, and Hoff will scoop it up. And Emmett, one thing I've noticed here after that third goal, the Packers have really not set things up like they did in the first half. We've not seen a lot of that possession by Va or really see them try to set up Collins like they did before.
Looks like a little bit more of a passive approach here from the Packers, just looking to hold on to their 3-0 lead. Obviously don't want to have any mistakes at the back, but I think it would be good for them to increase the aggressiveness on the offensive end, try to create another goal, because goal differential could mean a lot in this competitive EDC.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Emmett. I think, like you said, Packers just adjusting their strategy based on how the game is going currently. So ball loose at midfield. Reeves tracks it down for West Fargo. Lance putting pressure on. Now here's Collins with it. Collins moving up the middle. He's got 2 goals. If he can get a third, he can get the hat trick here. But that one will roll out of bounds on him, as he was trying to hook up with Simon on the far side. Ben Knutson coming back in now for West Fargo. He's been an effective player for them so far. Hoff sends this one downfield. It's immediately grabbed by Muhammad. And one thing we talked about in the first half, Emmett, is that it seems every time Collins or Va goes quiet, Muhammad really starts to take over. And so we've talked about how we haven't seen as much of that Va to Collins game here in the last few minutes. This could be prime time for Muhammad to step in, as Va will now take this one away.
The Packers have very many pieces on that offensive end of the ball. As you said, if 1 or 2 of them is being quiet, there's always another one there ready to step up and create some problems.
Well, and there was Muhammad starting this chain of events. Collins gets the shot off, and it just rolls past the net a little left.
Heads up play from Lucas Simon, able to center it back to Collins. Unfortunately for him, just goes wide of the post.
So 25:57 left to go as the Packers lead 3-0. On the replay here, again, it was Collins trying to get his 3rd goal. Bolmy was able to box him out. That whole chain of events, though, was started by Yusuf Muhammad, the senior. Corner kick here for West Fargo. Interesting strategy. They won't go for the net. They'll volley it in that corner. Reinholtz came in to try and jump it. He did a good job, able to break it up, only temporarily, though, as the Packers go back to work. Knutson fires one, blocked down in front. Shot fired just wide right.
That was an incredible shot there from Collins. Scissors kick, we like to call it, just goes wide of the post, but if that would have gone in, that could have been on top 10 there, Jed.
Yeah, I mean, that was something else there, and what a way that would have been for Daniel Collins to get his 3rd goal there. At this point, he's maybe not even looking for the hat trick as much as he's looking for the fancy way to do it, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah, certainly Collins, at every opportunity here tonight, has shown off his skill. I've been really impressed by this senior. Cam Hoff has had a pretty impressive game himself. We've seen him make some very quality saves, some highlight reel saves, if you will. But, you know, I think there have just been, you know, you see 3 goals on the board and you would think that's not a goaltender's best night. But to be honest, I think there's just been so much action down on his end, so many shots towards him. Yeah, you can't really blame him for a lot of these goals that have gone in.
I agree, Jed. There's been numerous shots on net for the Packers. It's a rough night if you're a goalie here, but Cam Hoff has still had plenty of good moments, plenty of good saves, and the scoreboard doesn't tell really how well he has played in this game.
Yeah, certainly. I think Cam Hoff has done his part here as, wow, just trucking through the defense that time was Musa, making all sorts of moves. The sophomore showing off his ball handling ability, as that one will eventually just roll out of bounds.
Some great dribbling skills there from Musa, able to get past 2 or 3 Deacons, tries to create an opportunity, but good step there from Owen Mears, stopping the chance.
And Emmett, over the last few minutes, West Fargo has really just started to showcase some of their skill here. We've seen a couple of really impressive plays from a couple of guys who we've been talking about a lot here. kick intended for Noah there. He almost got to it, but couldn't quite get there in time. Nellermo does come away with it. Able to get over to Gladich. Gladich curling around on the far side. Centers. Noah trying to get to it. Luke Noah goes up for it, but a beauty of a save by Klein. Able to get in there and break it up.
Some very physical play there between Luke Noah and Tommy Klein. Anytime when the goalie ends up on the ground, you'll usually see a foul called, and we saw that once again there.
Yeah, let's get a look at this replay here. Good work by Gladich, using the speed there and then just trying to center this one. And there goes Noah, and yeah, I think it was for the contact there, shoulder to shoulder with the goalie.
Like you said, though, a very nice play there from Gladich, the first-year player, able to get to that ball in the corner, put a decent ball into the middle, giving Luke Noah a chance.
Yeah, we talked about the one thing Gladich really has is raw speed, and you certainly saw it there as he was able to generate some space. I got to say I was a little surprised, but definitely impressed with how well he was able to center that ball. You know, when he got it, I thought it was going to be hard for him since, like you said, this is his first year playing soccer in a long time. But, yeah, no, really impressed with his ability to get that ball right out in front of the net there. That's a good sign for Shanley out of Kevin Gladich.
Many first-year players in the program on this field right now. And I believe each of them is very much holding their own, and the Deacons definitely have some positive things to look on going into previous seasons.
Yeah, you know there's a lot left in the tank for those guys, a lot of potential left to be tapped into. So it'll be fun to see that over the next couple seasons, as here's one of those guys right now, Landon Oden, the freshman, gives off over to Reinholtz. Reinholtz going across to Mickelson. Mickelson at the 45, checks it forward. Reinholtz couldn't get it, but Noah could. Luke Noah now over to Gladich. Gladich chips it forward, could not get back to it, though. That Packer back line cleans it up once again. Mauricio was there.
NC with another great defensive play, able to box out Gladich and doesn't let him to get to that ball.
Yeah, NC has had a somewhat quiet game, but a great one nonetheless. He's been able to break up a lot of Shanley scoring opportunities as here come the Packers back the other way. Shot fired and saved by Cam Hoff, making another beauty as Reinholtz will try to clear. Can't catch up to it, though. It's Reeves who was there. His pass, though, a little strong for Muhammad, and Dew is able to chip it forward. Luke Noah going to try to chase it down. Ball mishandled a little bit that time by Kabbalah, and so here is Noah on the far side.
What a sequence of events there. Muhammad out on that far sideline with a beautiful centering ball here, as you'll see on the replay. Collins looking for his hat trick, but Cam Hoff denies him. Great play there to come off his line, get big, and make the save.
And how fitting is it that that was Va to Muhammad to Collins there? If Collins could have put it in, that would have been the perfect way for him to get his hat trick, you know, given the names involved on that play.
Three players we've heard a lot from tonight.
So here's the centering shot. Noah could not quite catch up to it, and boy, Luke Noah has been just out of reach on a lot of these plays.
He knows where the ball is going. He has a great sense of where the ball is going to be. Unfortunately for him, he's just been a bit of a step behind tonight. But Luke Noah, obviously a key piece for the Deacons going forward.
And Emmett, how much of that do you think is just the fact that this is his first season spending the majority of his time at forward, where in the last 3 years he's played varsity, it's been pretty much all defense for him?
I think it is a big adjustment, but with a player of Noah's caliber, I don't think it's much of an adjustment for him. He's got some great skills with his feet. He's just got to try to put some more shots on net and help out his team.
Certainly, yeah. So still adjusting, but like you said, he's one of those guys who should get it figured out sooner rather than later given his skill set. So Stitch trying to chip this one forward. And he's able to get it up to Oden, who gets it out of the zone. Oden now going over to Nellermo. Nellermo holds up, makes a nice little move. Able to get past Reeves over to Oden. Oden with a move himself. He was trying to get it back to Luke Noah, I think, that time, but Mauricio was in there to clean it up. 19:30 left to go now in this first half as Mears battles it out with Simon and takes it away. Owen Mears wanted to boot it downfield. Simon, though, got there a little too fast, so he has to spin around, try to get up to Noah. Luke Noah, though, not quite able to get to it.
Tell you what, Jed, a name we haven't heard as much tonight, but Mauricio has been incredible on that back line. He's had many instances where a ball has been played and he's stepped to defend here.
Well, and here's an opportunity. Luke Noah moving in, overran the ball a little bit, gets back to it though. Luke Noah curling around, fires one, and oh man! Luke Noah! How about it?
That is what we talked about with Luke Noah's skill set. You knew it was just a matter of time before he would find a great chance, And from that angle, I have to tell you, that is an absolutely amazing goal. To wrap his foot around the ball, Tommy Klein had no chance at that one.
Yeah,
Incredible play.
you saw Tommy Klein throw his arms up there like, how am I supposed to defend that? Because like you said, Noah curls around the entire defense. He's running one way, and then all of a sudden, on a dime, he sends the ball curving in the complete opposite direction into the far corner. What a shot there from Luke Noah.
Very nice from Luke Noah. Obviously, for the Deacons, though, you got to hope that it's not too late. If they could manage to get a couple more goals here, that would be incredible.
Yeah, that's a good point, Emmett. It's a huge goal. It's a great play, but is it too little too late? That's what we'll find out. Certainly, though, their odds have just increased dramatically here, now down 2 with 20 minutes to go. It will be difficult, but certainly not impossible.
I imagine the Deacons will take away a lot of momentum from this goal. I expect them to throw more numbers forward. I expect them to be more eager to step to the ball as well, try to get some steals of possession there, and we might see some more chances from them here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more energy, a lot more daring, as right off the bat, Luke Noah going hard into Collins that time. Collins goes down, and they call Noah.
Looks like they just got tied up a little bit there. Luke Noah and Daniel Collins. Collins happened to fall to the ground, but I think there was some physicality from both players there.
Collins slow to get up at first, but he's moving around well now. And so here is Ben Knutson on the free kick. Knutson just going to give it off over to Collins. Collins weaving in. Daniel Collins got in there. Noah broke it up, but they'll get Luke Noah once again. I think they're going to say he grabbed Collins.
Not sure what Luke Noah was trying to accomplish there. He obviously knows that's going to be a foul, possibly just trying to stop Collins' attack because he did have a lane to score.
Yeah, I think Luke Noah's trying to be the spark here. He knows how big that goal was, but I think he's just got to know he can't do it all. And, he's just, I think, got to trust the teammates here. It's better to see what they can do than take the foul there. So here's Va putting it high up into the air, and Hoff will track it down. So not much going there for the Packers on that free kick, as Hoff was able to shut it down. He'll send it deep downfield now.
Nice aggressive play from Hoff there, excuse me, Jed.
No, absolutely.
Willing to come out in the face of attackers, makes a very nice stop there, just swallowing the ball.
Yeah, no, good point, and you're right, a good aggressive play. Unfortunately, that time on the kick, it ends up out of bounds. They couldn't take advantage there. But West Fargo going back to work here. Let's see if the Deacons can get a steal and get back to work on offense. West Fargo, meanwhile, they were playing a bit more passive. We might see them go back into that more of offensive strategy, if for no other reason than to just keep the ball out of Shanley's hands here. Ball popped up into the air, played on the far side.
There we see another freshman, Carter Jagger, out on that far wing. Another bright piece for this Deacons team going forward.
Ball brought forward by Dew over to Jagger. Jagger on the far side. Couldn't get it back to Dew. Now Va has it. Telvin Va bearing down. Mickelson right there on him. Mickelson going at it with Va. Able to get a foot in there. Va spins around, fires. But Hoff able to make the save.
Nice play there from Va, just spinning around in the circle, finding some space. Nice shot on net there to test Cam Hoff, but Cam has been very consistent tonight. Another great save.
Yeah, and I think Va knows that shot doesn't have a high probability of going in, but what's more important there is that it burns some clock, because at this point that's something you want to do if you're West Fargo, and it just keeps the ball in that Shanley zone. You just keep putting balls on net. One might go in here as now Va makes a steal. Collins has it. Collins back to Simon. Ball centered and ends up out of bounds.
A dangerous ball there from Lucas Simon. Looks like he was trying to find his man on the near sideline, and that one almost squeaked in the near post here.
Yeah, that was Hussein who was moving down towards the net there, and it was just a little off pace with the ball. So 15:33 now left to go in this game. Owen Mears will kick this one away, and you'd like to see a little more urgency here from the Deacons, as they're, I think, making a substitution that time. And so now Mears sends it downfield over the head of Noah and over the head of Musa. Gladys trying to get there. It's poked forward by that West Fargo defense. Hussein puts that one off the legs of Jagger. And then that ball's put out of bounds. It goes off of Gladys.
Nice aggressive play here from these young Deacons, trying to get forward, creating some pressure on this back line here on this near sideline.
Yeah, and Coach Christensen putting a lot of trust in those young guys. You know, he's got Beiswinger out there, he's got Odin out there, and now he's got Jagger out there. They've all been out there at critical times. I think Odin's actually off right now. That's why Jagger's in. My apologies. But, yeah, so there's 3 guys who played some pretty important minutes as really young players.
Yeah, Jed, the Deacons have lost several high-caliber players over the last couple of years, and they don't have the depth that they once did, heavily relying on these younger players. In possibly a bit of a rebuild mode, you could say, but definitely have a bright future.
So 14-15 left to go here in the second half. Certainly more energy for the Deacons since breaking through on the scoreboard, but not much really going for them offensively. They've definitely been playing better, I'd say, but again, they just haven't been able to threaten for goals here. Maybe that will change as Noah throws it into Gladich. Gladich spinning around. He's able to keep possession of it. Couldn't get the pass to connect, but he is able to put out of bounds off of the Packers. So here's the throw-in by Jagger. Gets it over to Dew. Dew then puts it over to Mickelson on the far side. Mickelson diving forward, trying to thread the needle with the pass. Couldn't quite find his way through. Beiswinger tried to get back to that one. There's a collision.
Looked like some incidental contact there from Beiswinger.
And on that far side, Mears is trying to keep that one in the West Fargo zone. He's not able to maintain possession, though, that time. It looks like Lucas Simon will throw in.
Substitution on the pitch for your Packers. Number 7, Yusuf Muhammad.
Yeah, now we've got a substitution here as Muhammad will come in. He's certainly a player you want in down the stretch. Something tells me Muhammad will not check out here with just 13 minutes to go.
One of those solid players that the Packers can always rely on.
Simon in a battle on the far side with Mickelson. We got a whistle, though, and I think they'll call that one against Mickelson. So it'll be a free kick for the Packers. We talked about their quick turnaround time, how they like to get on these balls, the throw-ins, the corner kicks, the free kicks. They like to do them very fast. Emmett, do you think that's going to change, though, here, now that they're up and they're just trying to burn clock?
I do, Jed. Obviously, you're just looking to burn some clock at this time in the game. You obviously have secured the win in your standpoint, so just trying to run out the clock and milk it as much as possible. Yeah,
there's really no point to get this ball back and play any faster than you have to. Although right now West Fargo is threatening as Voss centers. Simon gets a foot on it and gets it in. Lucas Simon. That's goal number 2 for him, and that might ice this one for West Fargo.
Telvin Voss with an incredible chip over the back line for the Deacons there. Lucas Simon, fortunately for him, is there to pounce, and he just taps that one into the right corner.
Yeah, Shanley, not much they can do there, Emmett. Just such a good play, like you said, by Va to set it up. I mean, look at that. They've got 4 defenders all around Telvin Va, and he's still able to pop it up there over to Simon. And not much Mickelson could do there. He was trying to shut down Garte as Simon just kind of came in from nowhere. I think the Deacon defense just kind of lost him in the shuffle that time. So Klein will pick this one up. A little under 12 minutes to go now. Jagger trying to put the pressure on, tried to jump that pass. Gladich is in there, heading it forward. Deacons trying to threaten here. Not going out of this one just yet, as it'll be cleared downfield by Marishu.
Nice look there from Jagger, trying to pick out the captain, Luke Noah, on the top of the 18. Possibly another scoring opportunity, but well cut out by the Packers defense.
At the 68th minute, assisted by number 10, Calvin Ball, and your Packer scorer, number 7.
Ball loose on the far sideline. Deacons able to advance it. Not for long, though. That ball intended for Luke Noah doesn't quite find its way to him. Nellermo that time was trying to set him up.
Jed, you said that the Packers were looking to take some time off the clock. Very apparent there. Musa fine with clearing that one away as far as possible, just trying to milk more clock.
Yeah, and you know, when it was a 2-goal game, maybe they were, okay with being a bit more aggressive, try to regain that 3-goal lead, which they have done here now. And so now up 3 with 10:45. Yeah, they're just gonna burn as much as they can. They don't really care if they retreat into a shell because there really isn't enough time for that to work too negatively against them. You know, they know even if they let in 1 or 2, it's not a big deal. So they may as well just play it close to home, play it safe. Knutson checks back in for West Fargo. Corner kick here. Right in front of the Packer net. Noah fires one. Blocked out in front, though. Jagger will try to keep it going. He cannot. Here comes West Fargo now. Va will have it at the 45. Telvin Va off to the races with Collins. It's a 2-on-2. Bolmy trying to get back in there. 3-on-2 now as there's a man open. Fired by Collins, and it's just wide right.
What a pass there from Talvin Va. Most players wouldn't play that one there, as it looked like the Deacon defender had a step on Collins, but when you have a player with Collins' speed, you can put the trust in him that he'll chase that one down, and he does there. Just skewers wide of the post. Yeah,
great job there by West Fargo. Just really quick there. All of a sudden, it was a good opportunity for the Deacons with the corner, and then in a matter of seconds, they had an odd man rush going. The Packers did the other way, and that's just what they do. That's what they bring to the table with so many high-caliber offensive threats. Beiswinger putting the pressure on there, trying to take this one away from Garte. Garte able to work it forward. On the far side, he gets it to Milbrandt. Battle for the ball there on the far side. I think that was Va who had it. He'll just throw it back in. Milbrandt giving it right back. And here's the shot. More of a pass to Muhammad, actually, as Muhammad now has it in the near corner. Muhammad with a man on him. Backing up, and now he'll try to work his way around. Yusuf Muhammad still with it, curving in, loose ball, and that one through the legs of Garte. Musa has this one. He'll fire one, and oh man! Musa out of nowhere puts it just over the hands of Cam Hoff. And West Fargo pouring salt in the wound with that one. Musa just kind of takes a floater from the back line, and it finds its way in.
Musa found himself with some space and some time, thought he might as well have a go. And as a goalie, from Cam Hoff's perspective, that ball is so hard to judge. Look at the knuckle on that thing. Looked like it was going to soar over the crossbar, and then it just has that dip at the very last second. Very hard to judge as a goalkeeper. And great shot from Musa, a goal that he'll remember.
Yeah, and it's just so hard. Hoff did a great job. He got up there to the crossbar. He got his hands up there. He closed the gap. He just missed time to jump a little bit. And like you said, it's just so hard to track where that's going to be and when it's going to be there. And, yeah, unfortunately, that was the problem that time. Hoff just a little bit behind getting to that one. And so the Deacons trying to rush right back into it. Ball sent forward, intended for Nellermo. Nellermo putting the pressure on. And a good box out that time by West Fargo. That was Muhammad who kept Nellermo from getting to that one, so it'll be a Packer throw-in. Ball taken by Beiswinger. Beiswinger over to Nellermo. Nellermo across to Noah. Noah up to Gladich. Threatening here. Gladich trying to get back to it. Good defense played and a whistle.
Beiswinger asking for a foul called on, looks like Garte down there. Some physical play going on between those two. We've seen it for quite a while here, and Beiswinger unable to get the call there. Yeah,
Emmett, honestly, I did not see it, so I have no idea, but I saw it when Beiswinger was down on the turf, and naturally you would think, well, Beiswinger's down on the turf, it had to be against West Fargo, but that's definitely not always the case, and the referee makes the call actually against Shanley. So not sure what happened there, but at this point, 5-1, it's not exactly vital. So that time the call goes against the Packers, against the Deacons. Packers get the free kick, and they're back to work here with possession on the near side.
I agree with the decision there from the ref. Just going to let these players play rather than just finish out this game.
Right. And some substitutions now as Hager comes in along with Wenninger for West Fargo.
Hager, a freshman on this Packer team.
They're certainly looking to get him some more experience here. As Musa, the man with the last goal in this game, throws it forward. Mears is there. Mears tips it straight into the legs of Knutson, who gets it up to Va. Va takes a step back. Now will charge forward with it. In comes Telvin Va. Great little pass. Finds a man. The ball gets past Hoff, but not into the net. I think that might have been Hussein who he hooked up with there. Couldn't quite tell. It was a good effort there by the Packers, but Hoff threw the body down.
Yeah, Jed, I wasn't sure where Va was looking to go with that one, and all of a sudden Hussein comes out of nowhere with a great burst of speed. Just can't quite wrap his foot around that one.
Yeah, that really goes to show how well Telvin Va kind of knows his teammates, because like you said, Hussein didn't really look to be relevant in that play, but sure enough, Va puts it forward, and he knows that Hussein's got the speed to kind of accelerate up to it. That time it's not quite on the money, but good playmaking there from Va, just good chemistry between him and Hussein.
Substitution on the pitch for your Packers, number 9, Ayani Adid.
Ayani Adid out there now for West Fargo as this ball's headed forward and going to be sent right back by the Packer back line. Muhammad trying to track it down. He'll head it away over to Hager. Muhammad now with it on the near side. Looked back to Hager, but it was stolen by the Deacons. Muhammad once again by swinger on him. Muhammad fakes him out, moves it up, stops. Tried to put it between two defenders. Doesn't quite work for him. Nellermo ends up with it as we now have 5:12 left.
Muhammad, they're trying to play some games with a young freshman, Drew Beiswinger. Very nice play there to stay patient, stay in front of the ball from Beiswinger, and make the interception.
And now Mickelson will check this one smartly back to Hoff, just trying to kind of reset things back here. Stitch couldn't work his way around. That ball still stuck back in Shanley territory. Deacons trying to get the clear. Good pressure put on, though, by these West Fargo forwards, as now the ball is finally sent downfield. It's going to take a bounce over the head of Larte, the defender. Pressure put on by Nellermo and Gladich, and it rolls out of bounds. Last touch by Larte. Nellermo is on it now. Got some pressure, though, and it's Mauricio who takes it away. Mauricio sends it all the way up now to Hussein. Hussein with Mickelson working against him. At the 45, Mickelson pokes it away. Battle for it between Hussein and Beiswinger. Beiswinger goes down over Hussein. No call there. It looked to be mostly incidental by both parties, as now this ball is taken away by Mickelson, working his way back into the play, back in front of the net. Ball chipped forward up to Nellermo. Nellermo holding at the 25. Trying to find a man in the middle to get it to. No one's home. Knutson was there, though, for West Fargo. Ball knocked forward to Muhammad. Muhammad coming back. Muhammad with a great play to get around Noah. Puts it on net, and Hoff knocks it away. Another nice save by Cam Hoff.
Muhammad with possibly the greatest footwork we've seen of the night. Able to dangle around a couple of Deacon defenders. A great shot that looks like it might have been curling into that upper right corner. And Cam Hoff, what a leap there. Incredible athleticism from the goalkeeper. I tell you what, Jed, it's very hard to make the commitment to jump that high when you know you're going to land hard on the ground, but he did it there, made a great save.
Yeah, Cam Hoff today and all season really has shown no hesitation to kind of, give up the body to make the save, and that's just the kind of qualities you get from a senior captain like Hoff. And that time, too, he does a really nice job timing the jump, because it's really risky to kind of, to have your feet leave the ground like that. When you jump up like that, you're making a commitment. You're either stopping this ball at the right time or it's going by you. And, so the gamble pays off there for Hoff, and that's just kind of how he plays the game. As Gladich tried to pressure there. He was knocked away, though, by DeHall. Looked clean as Gladich went down. And now this ball is sent forward to Osman, as the Packers have now made some mass substitutions. Up 5-1 here. They're just kind of looking to protect their main assets on this team here. Guys like Va and Collins have taken a seat. Don't want, any unnecessary injuries. Don't want any red cards or anything that could affect their availability in future games. Just 2:35 left to go here as we got a big throw in from Mickelson. Ball works its way along the far sideline. It ends up out of bounds, though. Last touch by the Deacons. So the quick throw in for the Packers off the head of Milbrandt and straight back to Mickelson. Mickelson sends it downfield. NC was in there. Or excuse me, that was actually Hager. As now the Packers look to go right back to work. Hussein sends it downfield. Milbrandt giving chase. He's got a head of steam. Milbrandt centers. And not quite on target. Adid was right there. Couldn't track it down, though, and get a foot on it. Might have been a goal.
How about the speed there from Milbrandt on that far sideline? He's able to track that ball down. Not many guys could have been able to get to that one. Plays in a great centering pass. and Adid not able to get back to the ball, just played a little bit behind him. But another great attack by the Packers, and boy, have they had plenty of those tonight.
Yeah, Milbrandt, like you said, really finding a second level of speed there and almost hooking up with Adid with now 1:30 left. Centering feed with the corner kick. Reinholtz tries to clear, and Hoff does a good job on the second effort getting back to it. He heaves one downfield. I think he's trying to get to Mears there. Mears and Milbrandt battle it out. Mears bringing it forward now. Looking downfield. Not much there. Gets tangled up with Milbrandt. Milbrandt takes it away, giving off over to Hager. And, Mears takes a tumble.
Looked like some incidental contact there from Hager, excuse me, Jed.
No, yeah, you're fine. I was going to say, I'm not even sure if that was Hager. It might have been the foot of Byswinger. I couldn't quite tell, but it doesn't really matter. Like you said, nothing really intentional there.
5 seconds left in the match.
Now loose ball in that corner. Mickelson's got it. Slows down to a trot there. Sizes up his options. Then just keeps it on the near sideline, or excuse me, the far sideline as it rolls out of bounds with now 40 seconds to go. Ball tossed back in to Hussein. Packers looking to get one more here before time expires. Deacons looking to do the same, as this one's pretty much wrapped up here with a 5-1 lead for West Fargo. DeHall tracks it down. Gladich put the pressure on. Good job by Noah to knock it forward, but it's sent right back by the Packers. Nellermo gets it downfield. Noah going to try to win the race there with Knutson. It's rolling out. Knutson with a great job on the box out. They'll say it was last touched by Shanley, and with just 5 seconds left, that should be the final play of the game as the horn sounds, and West Fargo comes away with a 5-1 win on the road to continue what has been an excellent season for them. Shanley, meanwhile, failing to pick up points here in what could have been a big game for them, although certainly the underdogs here at home.
Played at West Fargo. Still, though, plenty of positives that Shanley can take away from this game. Unfortunately for them, though, the speed and athleticism of this Packers team was just too much for them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, 5-1 is not a great-looking box score, but, they lost 6-0 last time, like you said. That's a 2-goal difference in terms of how much they lost by. And, I think this game felt closer than the score turned out to be. The first half certainly was pretty close. It was really quite close. Even when they were down 3-0, they got the goal back. Goal late there, was a nice one from Musa when it was all but sealed up. But, closer than it had been earlier in the season, although you got to give all the credit in the world here to West Fargo. I think they really showed why they're a top contender for state. The number of offensive weapons they have is just absolutely incredible.
West Fargo definitely displayed their dominance tonight, cementing their place at the top of the EDC. They will be in a battle with Davies for that #1 spot going in the state, but just clinical tonight. They are solid on the back line, in the middle, and on the top. And for the Deacons, obviously this is a rough one, but they can afford to drop points to teams like West Fargo. They just have to make sure that they are getting 3 points against some of these upcoming matches against lesser opponents, and many positives that both teams can take away from this game.
Well said, Emmett. So that is it for our broadcast this week. We will have more soccer for you, though, next week, so be sure to tune in for that. For tonight, though, for Emmett Kenny and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: Shanley Deacons 1, West Fargo Packers 5. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.